Notice that a lot of them are smaller firms, so they couldn't go to their supplier and say, look, I'm going to go to China. It's okay, go to China. Okay. Well, I can't. It's too expensive. I've got to now send somebody over for so many weeks, figure all this out. It's a huge fixed cost, if you will, to try to get that lower price. That was the box that a lot of the companies felt they were in. They were in this box of their bigger OEMs demanding lower prices, but they being incapable of correspondingly getting lower prices for their inputs. That was their description. That basically means their margins got squeezed. Now, this is something which is very much a small company perspective. I mean, perhaps larger firms with operations all over say, oh yeah, we can move people around and get people on a plane and do all these things. It's a very different concern. So the one question, at least for us, was what is globalization doing and how can the smaller firms adapt? And this is an open question. We have a few ideas. This is certainly an open question. So again, it says globalization had not resulted in cheaper supply of raw materials. However, what they did find is they said this was the place where the weaker dollar was helping. Many of the small firms said, well, we started getting calls from people we never thought we would. Countries we're going to, we never thought we would. The weaker dollar was helping. So the way out of the box for them was they could not find a way in order to get lower cost raw materials, but because exports were becoming a new opportunity and there was a weaker dollar, they could preserve their margins by exporting. Notice that this box just got tighter, okay? Because that little export valve went down, that input cost valve went, the input raw materials prices did not go up, and that squeeze from the OEM is going to remain. What we did do was to look at a few high-performing firms, and I'm going to wrap up in the next minute so that Mary can get on with some instructions for you. We did pick a subset of firms that had much better performance. Net income as a percent of sales greater than 20%, return on assets greater than 20%. A lot of these firms basically were leveraging the weak dollar. That's one thing they said. They said, look, we've started going into new markets. We've tried to figure out a way, we'll get on a plane, go anywhere the plane takes me model. However, one of the things they were basically saying is they were using lean manufacturing and finding a way to work with their skill base. Lead time reduction was important. Collaboration was important for them. Technology, RFID, many other tools. The one thing which I think there's room, and I know certainly that Don and Randy here, etc., are eager to try to find a way to fix it. Many of the smaller firms were trying to find a way to get more connected. There are already a significant number of initiatives within the state to get more connected with state and local initiatives for employee training, etc. A quick summary, one of the things I wanted you to think about is we've been doing this study for the last couple of years. Just a quick request, if you're available and interested in participating, all that will take you is we'll send you a URL link. We use a product called SurveyMonkey, which allows you to start the survey and come back to it later. You don't need to earmark your entire quarter to do this. You can spend 10 minutes one day, 10 minutes another day, and it's going to be stored within a database. And all you do is click send. There are two good things. A, you haven't killed a tree, so all it is this electrons going back and forth. And B, we understand that we can't take a large chunk of your time, but you can keep going back to this and referring back to it and making changes, etc. We think this is useful for us to read. We expect next year a completely different set of answers, as you would well imagine, and we think this is good for starting a dialogue of what can be done, both as entities within universities and entities throughout the state. So this is just a quick snapshot. I'm going to hand you over now to Mary so that she can give you instructions regarding the poster competition. We're going to continue the discussion in the afternoon where we're going to have several members in the panel. If you have filled out that one sheet of paper, please pass it along, or we can just leave it where you are and we'll come pick it up. Part of our goal is, and if you haven't had a chance to do it, please take a couple of minutes to finish it. I'm going to hand you off to Mary.
Say good morning finally to all of you. I think everything's kind of settled down outside, so we get a couple minutes to talk. The next portion of the event is the summer internship poster competition. This is what the students call speed dating with industry. Okay, now, I don't know what that means exactly. I come from another generation where there's no such thing as speed dating, but they say it's a good thing, so I'm relying on them. The way the event goes is I look to all of you here today to be my judges. If you choose not to be a judge, that's fine. Just kind of slink away and I won't come chasing you. Okay? I'll group you in groups of 3, and I'm going to place you at a poster starting position. The students will have 3 minutes, just 3 minutes, to tell you what they want to tell you about their internship. And you'll have a chance in 1 minute to ask a quick question. Then you have even less time to fill out the form, which is 30 seconds. And then we start herding you along like cattle very quickly from competitor to competitor to try and get as many judging sessions in over the next hour and 15 minutes. This is what the competition sheet looks like, and if you're part of the group that wants to judge, which I encourage you all to, it's a lot of fun, in spite of what I said earlier. I just need to make sure that you fill out a few things. The first thing is there's a letter on their easel, and it's a number actually, 1 through 23, and the undergraduates have a U following the number. So just make sure that you always have that code on the top so that we can actually tally the results. And then you don't necessarily have to add up your total if you don't have time. Just fill in those numbers, and they're getting points on content, presentation, display, and just kind of the overall feel of things. Okay, so what we're going to do first, though, is get a group photo with you. This is Christine Hudson. She's a student over in the School of Technology, and she's our annual photographer, and she's going to be taking a group photo of you. I need you to follow her up to the 3rd floor, quickly get a couple photos, and then you'll have about 2 minutes for a potty break if you need to take a quick potty break. And then if you want to reconvene right back where the registration table was, then I'll start breaking you up into groups and assigning you with the students. And we'll go from there. Yes, sir.
Is the format you're talking about in our folder, or are you going to...
You'll be getting these as soon as you show up over there. We'll hand you one of these. If you want to bring your pin, fine. If you don't, we have more over there. And then you get to experience dating with the interns. So follow Christine.
We're just gonna head up to the 4th floor to take a pictures.
You don't need anything else with you. If you want to bring a pin,